I'm working on this modern style stand-up desk. The joinery and sculpturing are quite different than my normal 18th century or shaker styles. In this view, I'm not showing much of the sculpturing and shaping, and it's worth discussing. Should you spend the time in SketchUp doing this extra work? In the case of this desk, the original piece rounds over these joints in the drawer opening. Also, the stretchers are rounded and shaped to connect with the legs. My construction in the shop would be to connect square pieces as shown here, and then perform the shaping later with hand tools. I don't need to see the shaping in SketchUp. I need only what it takes in rough lumber components to initially construct. So the answer is how much to do in SketchUp, I would propose, depends on the purpose of the drawing. For me, the objective is producing a piece in the shop. Sculpturing in SketchUp is mostly a waste of time. And for me, performing this extra tedious work in SketchUp is substantial. It's much easier in the shop. With a file and spokeshave in my eyes, I can quite easily and quickly create suitable shapes. In this video, I will show my procedure for sculpturing the joints in the opening for the drawers. It's quite tedious with many steps. The cleanup after intersecting was extreme. I'll use this side and base joint as the example. This shows how you would connect the side and base using tongue and groove. In the next step, I've removed most of the base components to simplify the work using this structure. Next, I've used the arc tool to add the round over shapes to the front edge of the side and the rail. These are extra shapes that have been added. In thinking about the problems of intersecting, I just scaled up the piece by a factor of 100 to avoid any issues. And next, I've made a copy so that I can use one assembly for the adjustments to the base component and the other assembly for adjustments to the side. I've also exploded the components. There are no longer any groups or components here. Then I performed an intersection, and I've eliminated most of the side graphics in this view to concentrate on the rail only. Now I will use the eraser tool to knock out the waste. Here is the result after erasing. Notice the extra little shaped protrusion on the front end of the tongue. That's needed for this rounded joint. Then, after clearing the waste on the side, this is the result. And again, you can see the extra protruding material in the side component to fill the gaps that would be in the rail end. Here I've connected the pieces then to show the resulting rounded joint. And then I've attached the sculpture joint to the ends of the rail, showing the completed construction. And here is the final assembly with my limited rounding and capability to do this sculpturing in SketchUp.